Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Control. Let's continue. So we had to do an amazingly long and annoying side mission to get the janitor Audie's headphones, which I guess the music was created by the board, is at least the indication there, the big black triangle, which we haven't really done anything with in a long time. And it's going to help us navigate So this is the kind of music you would expect from a good environmental combination here. In this is called the ashtray maze. So, my guess here is that this was supposed to be a demo section, or possibly this music was supposed to be the lead song in a soundtrack, which this works. This is cool. This actually makes this combat way more interesting than just another generic fight, which is what we go through a lot. Now, is this music copyrighted? It shouldn't be. But even if it is, it's weird that then this game is gonna. It's weird that there's shoes outside of all the doors. We needed this sequence so early in the game, and I would be super frustrated if it turns out this is halfway through the game and this is like the mid point, because there's been way too much gameplay to make that argument. Now it'll be interesting to see if I can find a way out of this building, this section, before the music is done playing. Yeah, we needed this sequence at the beginning of the game. Interesting. The enemies. Like this is gonna be like a 6-minute song. It'd be interesting if this is actually the end of the game, but that wouldn't make a lot of sense. I should be able to control these guys faster if they're closer to me, and slower if they're further away. It would make a logical sense that it would work that way. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense that you're putting your hand out. Like, I cannot pick up these grenades and shoot them back fast enough. I can't control that guy fast enough because I'm going to get blown up. This is gonna kill me before I can save myself. And see, the fact that he can hit rocket shots on top of grenade shots makes it kind of impossible to avoid this guys. And now I'm in a weird position where the music is kind of getting in the way and being a distraction. Hopefully that's the last of the fights, because I don't think I can take much more. It's taking its sweet time. Oh, is the building helping me? Thank goodness. Just drop a little bit of... Alright. So we've got a whole sequence that we're trying to deal with. Got it. I think. That was awesome.
Projector. The expedition into Slidescape 36. What Darling brought back changed everything.
So, yeah, I kind of have to remind myself what I was even doing here. We were trying to get the slide projector that takes you to different dimensions. Apparently Darling went to Slidescape 36 and brought back the hiss. And where are we on the map? We're here about to enter another probably less than realistically designed area, and apparently the ashtray maze is always going to be just blacked out like that because of the way it works. Although it's weird that Firebreak is kind of in the middle of that. So it's another one of these connecting portals. That was a nice sequence, but totally in the wrong place. I also need a...
Yeah, you want me here. Finding the projector was how this all began. What started in ordinary ends here. You, me, Dylan.
This
We've
might
all
be the
come
end
full
of the
circle.
game. This might be the end of the game, I doubt it, but... What is that? That's speaker and some kind of generator. And a speaker and some kind of generator. I need a checkpoint, though. I don't want to die or fall to my death and then have to do that whole sequence again. As much as I thought that sequence was kind of cool. What is this? It's just a chair. It wasn't cool enough to want to go through twice. I wasn't even looking to see if there was any collectibles in these. I doubt there actually was any. This room is full of what looks like red sand. Ah, there is a control point for Polaris. So theoretically this would refill my health too. Let's see if it really does that. Yes, it does. Okay. So, big boss fight at the Hadron Resonance and Slide Projector Research area. How are we on weapons? I think living with the spin and the grip is still probably the best setup. We haven't seen any red sand up until this point, so it is a waste of a potential color palette and texture, to say the least.
There was a doorway here. To where Dylan and I went, where the projector took us, where we met you. The Bureau opened the same door here, but there's just an echo now.
Was Polaris?
Just on the other side?
So there's a question about whether Polaris was creating that universe. Right, there's an elevator. It doesn't seem to want to work. Thought maybe a door would open. So this is going to be the big reveal of one thing or the other. That Polaris is actually the bad guy. Jesse Faden is actually Polaris, and there was no Jesse Faden. Any other mini collections of slightly predictable things. Or maybe it will do something completely unpredictable. I really wouldn't give the creators of this game that much credit. But whatever. They could do something. Stand away from the frame when emergency lights are on. And then it wants me to go over here, clearly. And it probably doesn't want me to go up here. Yeah, there's not really anything here. So you have to get to this point to get up to this point. And then seriously, just fall off the edge? Okay. If that's how you're gonna play a game, That's another problem with being able to fly, is that at any point you might accidentally be hovering above the ground and think you're actually walking. And it wants me to transfer over here, I guess. Ah, there is a collectible down there. Might as well try and play this game as much as possible, just in case there's some kind of mod that would make it a little bit easier. I can't honestly complain about the game being difficult if I don't even bother to do a little bit of the grinding that is reasonably expected in a video game. Unfortunately, all the grinding in this game is kind of built around finding collectibles instead of shooting enemies and getting experience.
The projector's not here. Moved again. What did Darling do with it? I've got to find out.
So he was using the projector out this window, it looks like. This looks like a point of power.
From each slide is a physical portal into another dimension. Only one slide remains. Dylan's sister burned the rest in ordinary before we could intercept. The text on it, color slide film, this side towards screen, and the number 36. The topography of slidescape 36 bears deep wave marks. On the slide and in the distance, there's a formation of 5 pillars like crude, outstretched fingers. There were casualties on our first expedition. Communication is an issue. There is no sound there, as if you've gone deaf, and radios don't work. Correction, resonance from an unknown source in part within the range of audible frequency. It acts in unpredictable ways, causing feedback loops that can tear you apart. Trench insists he heard something else. It made his ears bleed. Our equipment found no evidence of anything beyond the primary resonance. Trench's medical tests showed nothing amiss.
So Trench went there. So Trench might be the bad guy. And it does kind of feel like that. Can we just stay here forever?
The projected image from each slide is a physical portal.
The image
into another
isn't
dimension.
playing again.
Only one slide remains. Dylan's sister burned the rest in ordinary before we could
Interesting.
intercept.
It's like a glitch.
Color slide film, this side towards screen, and the number 36. The topography of slidescape 36 bears.
Alright, so let's see what this does. Yeah, I don't see a reason why you would be able to push a button and close all the shutters.
Radios don't work.
No.
Correction, resonance from an unknown source in part within
So
the range of
it's
audible
slightly
frequency.
questionable about
It
what
acts
the
in
other
unpredictable
slides would
ways,
have
causing
taken you,
feedback loops that can
or they would have
tear
gone,
you apart. Trench insists
and
he
why
heard
she would have specifically burnt him, although it doesn't really take a genius to figure out that it could have been accidentally burned or intentionally burned, and maybe Jesse doesn't know, maybe Polaris made them burn it. Here's that elevator, which apparently would work now? No? Nope, the elevator does not work. So that's an odd shortcut that's not a shortcut. And we're in a section where we can't use our gun. When did the gun disappear? You have the gun here. You walk down here, it disappears. No canonical storyline reason for that. So we may run into another puzzle. I would not be surprised. So dark. Of course, the jump scare here would be if we walk in the next room and the slide projector comes on and opens up a portal to a whole different universe. Particularly if the slide projector is rather bright. What's this one say? Avoid modern technology. What's the problem with modern technology is the question. They didn't really ever explain that one. Alright. So, last time I did one of these, I think the way this worked is the middle square goes in circles, and then you have to let's see, is that not right? No. So you kind of have to push up, down, left, and right to do the edges. I think I screwed it up. Do you start over when you back out? Not really. That looks right. Control unit. Let's go back and see if there's something over here that says actually don't use that, use something different. I don't feel like these symbols are in any way compatible with what the other symbols are. And there's pictures of symbols all over this. Is there something written on this? It would make sense. Well, it's not nice to say the least. I guess maybe that's what we're trying to get to make the puzzle this difficult. One, let's see, two, down, down. Takes 1, 2, 3, 4.
Expedition 3.
Got it.
We
just dumb
located
luck.
the source of the resonance in slidescape 36. It is an entity.
It's odd that the
organism
camera is panning. You don't see that in video
considerable
games
mass.
very often.
I've named it Hedron based on its physical shape.
Hedron.
We built a
Was
container
that
for it.
you? Did he bring you here? Is that why you brought me here? You're here. You're here. They have you. I know you. I remember her from Ordinary. I thought I'd never see you again. Hang on, I'm coming.
So we're freeing some giant creature, for lack of a better term. It's been communicating with us And I thought just kind of spiritually inside of us up until this point. Here's him walking around naked and crazy.
I'm Dr. Casper Darling, and this is my final message. It's not the end. But after this, I won't. I exposed myself to Hedron resonance fully. It is... It's changing me.
My finger's getting tired holding the left trigger.
I've been shown so much.
So Hedron...
Slidescape 36 was where Hedron stopped the spread of another.
warned him about the hiss. Okay.
Please. It's another source of resonance. Trench was exposed to this other. It will now spread.
Trench had the hiss in him, I guess is the
I've
thought.
done everything.
Unless we find out Hedron is actually the hiss.
Resonance amplifiers. I don't know if it'll make a difference.
So were we going to put a Hedron resonance amplifier on Hedron?
I won't be here when it happens. I should have told Emily more.
I don't even know who Emily is. Is that
You
Emily
said one
Pope,
lesson.
the girl in the boardroom?
Something wonderful, I think.
It's weird that this top row of TVs is turned off. It's also weird these are TVs when we've been seeing projections up until this point, so it's kind of inconsistent. Alright. So either the Hiss or Polaris is in there. We're going to go free it, and if that made me more powerful and take less damage, I'd be super happy. If it gave me some powers that were actually useful, I'd be super happy. I question whether it would, though. We've got our gun back now. Seems like now this would probably work. So are we going that way? Or I think that's the wrong direction. This is the right direction.
Through here? You are coming through so strong. Darling used this HRA to lock the door. I have to rip it off to get in. Are you sure? Okay, I'll be there. Hang on.
So if he was using an HRA to lock the door, then either this is a really, really bad idea, or we are the bad guys.
Hi. I made it.
The hole in your room is a hole in you. You gave it, we let you into the hole in you! You have only spent here, the only child, a copy of a copy of a copy!
No. Why did you... This was a mistake.
Like, no duh. We either let the hiss in, or the hiss was there before, and now we're letting the hiss out. Meanwhile, Polaris, up until this point, has really not shown any evidence that it needed to be released. And again, this feels more like a sociopath's, or no, not sociopath's, but psychopath's delusion, a schizophrenic's delusion, in which things are just kind of changing their meaning as you move along. Am I supposed to be moving things? Can we adjust these if there aren't too many enemies around? Are there 3 of these or 4? These guys are relatively low health enemies, so they're not too bad. So I feel like this was probably supposed to have been a pretty easy fight, just to warm up to another fight. Alright. I'd like to kind of look around this area at some point, if I could. Come on, big orb. These guys get healed so fast you can't take control of them anyways. It really is silly. Like, why would you introduce these orbs that heal your characters, which in general is a dumb idea for any video game, and then also introduce a ability to take control of people if their health is low enough so that they could possibly be halfway to being taken control of, and then they would just they would heal back up so that you couldn't seize them. So there is an enemy flying around still, but
Get the fuck away!
I think we're good. And this chamber seems like it's just getting taller and taller and shifting. Trying to reach as high as possible. We definitely aren't doing the Nintendo rule of 3 here. Seriously. I'm gonna fall. I'm gonna fall to my death. And so, almost certainly we're starting over from the beginning. I doubt that there's going to be a checkpoint. This is going to suck. You know, I was joking when I said this was a proud tradition of... Oh man, we may go through a lot of gameplay that we have to redo. Yeah, I was joking when I said this game had a proud tradition of forcing me to die several times first before I could succeed. But it's kind of stopped being a joke. Alright, that's not gonna work. I'm dead. Fell off the edge, die. It did stop me from having to do the 3 lower things. And this definitely does feel like a boss fight of some sort. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to run back here and refill my energy. That would take too much time. I guess if worse came to worse, I could try it, but... I need to come up here. I need to reach this platform. That's out of the picture, but everything else isn't. I have nothing. These platforms are way too small. This is the anchor all over again, with the slight exception that the anchor was even smaller platforms. But then also in the anchor, it was more frustrating because you had this instance of it shooting clocks at you. The anchor fight, by the way, also weirder than this fight so far. And this is more just generic hiss. Alright. So I think maybe what you do is you take some time to try and take some of these guys out before you get up to that area. Maybe we could shoot some people. Alright, so the door at this point is locked. You're in the fight. You can't be out of the fight. So any hope or desire that maybe there would be some dead bodies and some health sitting around in this section is probably dashed for the number of times I've died. I'd assume that that's the case. I don't think that there's any secret collectibles that would be super helpful right now. I did regain some health, apparently just by sitting in that general area, and so maybe there is a little bit of a benefit for being a coward and just trying to sneak around. Wait, actually, I think the energy ball might be the only thing right here. I had hoped. I thought maybe the energy ball would just stay there and then nothing else would spawn and then I could fight everything else. Well, move on to the next platform. Not even though, yeah, moving to the next platform is just the next challenge. One hopes that it's the last platform and there are 5 lasers. I don't know why there would be 5 instead of 6. Though, that really wouldn't work its way into the rule of 3s that we've been seeing in every other repetitive action in most other games, even. So I'm gonna keep trying to do this, and I can't hit anything because I can't aim at anything, and so now I'm falling. Try and take this guy out as fast as possible. I feel like the game is taking pity on me because that orb doesn't seem to be there. Oh, come on. Seriously? I got the fight cleared. That's nice, but I fell to my death. This is another great example. Just put a floor there. Even if it was a floor of lava that gave me a little bit more chance to save myself. Just even if it was a ladder that I had to climb up and it was super slow, or an elevator I had to ride up and it was super slow. Just don't make me die and have to restart the entire freaking fight for the 5th time because I'm falling off edges because this is an awkward flying game like every other freaking game that's tried to have flying in it has always been and will always be. And there's no way that within the next decade that will change. It's too hard to program a way to control a character that flies. It's just that simple. Come on, you stupid ball. Alright, that may finally prove itself to be useful. There's the ball gone, so that should leave just the one difficult flying guy. Alright, so I think we're good. I still find it weird that she calls her, but whatever. That would have been an interesting line of dialogue to put in this, is if Jesse had this kind of internal conversation real quick and goes, "Oh, I actually never asked, are you a him or a her? Blink once or signal to me once if you're a him and twice if you're a her," or something like that. Although, if you're trying to communicate with somebody, you should never do 1 and 2. It should always be something 2 and, well, 5 would be probably a smart move. That way, if there was a loss of signal, I think more are going to summon, but I don't think I have a choice. I think I have to go. Darn it. I think I'm in a pretty good position, and I can take control of that guy and then have him fight out for me. Come on, health. I don't think that's the guy to fight right now. That could have been somebody I took control over. Let's hope this works. Come on, just knock that guy a little bit down. Because we have like a named character here. And I don't think I'm going to be able to take him out without some help. It's like junior operative ID number. Come on. Is this really how the game is supposed to play? With a big fight like this? Is it really supposed to be such a nightmare? Of back and forward, dash, avoid, try to get in cover? This really is not designed for cover. They can pretend like it is all they want, but it does not hug the cover easily, and pressing the left stick click is no way to crouch down. It's totally the wrong button. Seriously, another one? No duh. I mean, in seriousness, no duh. But I'm way too far away from these guys to be trying to target them. Let's make sure we're down first. There's an explosive barrel out of nowhere. At this point, I think I want to cry. Do you think there's any chance they checkpointed me after the second one? Any chance at all that we aren't going to have to do all 3 of the second rounds again? Let's go and switch this, by the way, to the Pierce. Or we'll try the charge and see if maybe I could use the charge on it. No, of course. And that totally didn't do enough damage on the charge to justify anything. And I'm about to fall to my death again because I can't hover and move at the same time without potentially dying. That gun charge does not work for what I'm trying to do, at least. The fact that they break apart the fights makes it impossible for you to get an advantage from seizing enemies. So, like, if I was to get this guy under my control, unlikely, but maybe not even possible, but whatever. If I was able to get him completely under my control, by the time I have set everything else up, and done this part, I would have lost control of that guy. What would be nice here is if the game was going to be so generous, if I could just do that. Just do maybe more damage than what you would think is reasonable to it to break it. And I'd be willing to make that trade-off as a way of cheesing the system. You kind of need to land up in this area. Can these guys maybe not hit you? Oh no, they can totally hit you. They can totally hit you. That would have been too easy, wouldn't it? That you could have just snuck up to the top and then there would have been no way for them to climb up there. So this is expanding their tradition of me dying at least 3 times in a fight to now we're up to 9 or 10 different fights. Meanwhile, charge is no good. I don't think Pierce is any good either. I don't think any of the guns add enough of an advantage. Do we have some kind of personal mod here that maybe would change things? Well, let's see. We have launch energy cost. Could we change the launch energy cost in total and just reduce the amount of launch energy even more? Get rid of that at least. Shield energy cost, seize speed, energy recovery speed. Yeah, if anything, energy recovery speed would be, I think, a better move. All I'm using is launch. There's really nothing else I can do. Is fly up, launch, and lock in, and fly up, launch, and lock in. Got the wrong gun. I'm trying to hit that big ball and it's not working. It seems like regardless of how many upgrades you have to your energy, you are always gonna at most get 3 shots. And that's it. it doesn't feel like the game ever really opens up or allows for anything more than that. So it's almost like it's taking a pity count on the number of times you die per level here. So it's kind of taking pity on me for this first platform, but not really taking any pity on me at all for the second platform. When in totality, I am done with this fight in total, and I'm totally done with the this room in general. I don't see anybody else. Interesting. Am I making a mistake here? Or has the game again? Nah, it's gonna start that. It's gonna start all that garbage. I've gotta get this health, or I've gotta hide. Collect all this health and be healthy and safe. Not really. Where is this guy? Yeah, the Pierce is not doing anything useful. So my only hope, I guess, is that he would throw something so I could throw a grenade back at him. I don't think it's just too dangerous to do that since he's shooting 2 grenades at me at the same time. See, yeah, when I throw his grenades back at him, it does do a decent amount of damage to him. So if we just don't lose this,
Go to hell!
there was a guy flying over there on the chair, by the way, that I just saw. gonna see if I can take these guys out as far away from them as possible. But I don't think that that's really going to help much, because this was the section in particular where they spawned as I got closer. So unless landing just on this ledge here will convince them to start spawning, we're in a bad position. Best case scenario, what I'm looking for is to get over to this edge and then not die too much. Come on. Oh my goodness. I don't know what to do here. I just want to rage quit. And we're not really at the point where I can just say, let's screw it, let's just rage quit the game and that be it for Control. Like, I don't rage quit on mini games at all. But I don't know what else to do here. It's the same nightmare over and over again. Shield strength is garbage. Evade energy would be slightly helpful, I guess, but not as helpful as anything else. Is there... We do have, I guess, because we keep dying over and over again, maybe some things we could unlock as far as astral constructs. Should I try the shatter? Upgrade shatter and try that? I guess maybe there's an argument for that. I could upgrade random things and try and craft random things, but I don't think that that would really help anything. Board countermeasures. There's nothing we could do. We could run around and do side missions, I suppose, and try that. We can increase our shield a little bit there. Shatter. And in Shatter's corner we have projectiles fired 5, projectile speed 30, whereas damage after kill 27, ammo per shot minus 10%, projectiles fired 4 instead of 5. We can probably get rid of that then. Accuracy, projectile speed negative 22%. Why spread is negative 22%. Fire rate 20%. Damage when low on health. Alright. I don't think Shatter's saving the day. Maybe what we do is we take out these guys. Let's give this one more try. I'm thinking maybe what I do is I get these first two done the way we've been doing it, and then I use does not feel like it's getting hit at all. Yeah, I don't think Shadow's the gun to use. But on the third tier, maybe if I just left the single shooting people on the field so it doesn't summon the second group of people, maybe there's something there that would happen. I kind of wish the shield would just work. Like, why can I not just turn on the shield and press the X button and avoid at least these first couple of groups? Up here, dash, dash, shield, like, so yeah, the shield does not work, in case you were wondering. Well, at this point, I'm just on full tilt. I'm totally on full tilt. It's time to call it for the night, and this is a nightmare. Potential final boss that we're fighting. Like, there might be more gameplay here after this. There's definitely some other missions we could be doing. So let's see. Ignoring board countermeasures. We could go and try to do this. We could go and try and do this. We could try and do this one in particular is the one that everybody talked about. So there might be something to that. We could try to do some of these other side quest things. Self-reflection and the refrigerator are the two big ones that we could do. What I want to look at is the fast travel locations here. As far as research area, we know that there's one area in the top left that we clearly haven't found, and there's possibly a decent amount of collectibles, but I don't think too much. As far as containment area, there's one area we haven't been to, which was the Sterling AWE event. So it kind of does feel like we are close to being done. Like the executive sector in particular, there's nothing except for that nostalgia department area. So we can do those two quests, the fridge quest and the mirror quest. That might increase our ability points so that we could get some more abilities. I don't know, like, I just need more energy, I guess, more than anything. Just a major boost in energy would help me fly longer and throw things, but without more collectibles just through grinding, I can't increase or upgrade the charge, and it seems like you won't be able to increase or upgrade anything else until you do upgrade the charge. If I get enough points, it might make sense to upgrade this constructs levels also, that way, this constructs level, that way I could potentially craft some mods, but I don't think any mods would help me. Kill enemies with the service weapon in charge mode. Apparently I've not succeeded at all in that. I should have been able to do that. There's no reason to do this. I'm gonna abandon this. I'm gonna abandon this. Kill his snipers. Accept. Kill enemies in the research sector. I don't know if I'd actually get that done, but it's kind of probably better than killing enemies in the executive sector. Let's see. Fast travel to Central Executive. And see, I'm in this weird position because I really should play some more. I was hoping to finish the game, but I'm on so much tilt here that if I go and try and do anything else, I'm not going to be very much in a very good mood with it. So, I guess I have to call it a night, maybe? I definitely have to call it an episode. Is there anybody to talk to or say anything new to?
Find anything interesting?
She might have something new to say to me.
Do you remember Mr. Tomasi, the head of communications? The hiss he was changed into showed up in containment, near the turntable.
I'll take care of it. That thing's not getting away this time.
I've heard reports about his particular use of language and intonation when repeating the hiss babbling. The biological and behavioral distinctions between different hiss-corrupted individuals is truly fascinating. I wonder if I could categorize the data.
And she's already off on her own thing.
Alright, so there is a new quest.
I've been seeing these Darling presentations all over. Seems like he enjoys the limelight.
So you noticed, huh? When he recruited me out of college, he actually came to visit. He interrupted my physics course by shouting, "Not quite, Professor," and then marching down to the front of the class where he proceeded to berate the very idea of laws of thermodynamics. He's been a showboat all his life.
So
Darling visited
we
you
could
in
get
college?
some other
Yeah,
quests
read
and
a
I try
paper
and
I'd
do
published.
that, I
Came
guess.
to recruit me for the bureau. I accepted and then spent years waiting for access to the confidential research that Darling promised me. And whenever I ask about my access level, he just mumbles that it's temporarily postponed and then changes the subject to the effect of entropy on luck.
I wonder who else Darling get his work from. Marshall? Trench?
Have you learned anything about Dylan's condition?
Only that he's definitely hiss, but I guess his chanting made that pretty obvious. You know, interestingly, the words of the hiss incantation have an average length of 4 letters. The most common word used 7 times is want. The next most common are through and time. That's very interesting, don't you think?
No.
I don't care about the words. What about my brother?
Right. Sorry, I got a little off track.
No, I don't
Well,
think that was
strangely,
interesting
his
at
tissue
all.
samples all look healthy, unlike the other hiss I've tested.
That's good news. Right?
Maybe, maybe not. I mean, apparently the hiss was also talking to Trench.
I wanted to
Trench
talk to you
looked
about
fine.
the crazy things I can do. My abilities. I get the sense that they're not very usual around here.
Well, usual and unusual aren't really benchmarks at the Bureau, but for some perspective, Director Northmore once used the floppy disk to send a bowling ball 6 yards through the air, and that was considered a huge deal. So compared to that, you are most certainly an outlier.
An outlier. I like the sound of that.
Alright,
I should get going.
3 more
Don't let me
boring
hold you up.
dialogue things, one of which did give us a quest. This area doesn't seem like it got particularly any more decorated or messier.
Is the oldest house really unhaunted?
I wonder if there would be... Yeah, there's no new conversation here. Thank goodness for that. So, that new mission, what was it? Mr. Tomast. That is in the turntable area. So, almost certainly that is the section not on this floor or this floor. Yeah. Almost certainly that's a big boss fight that we could try and go and do. I'm not even 100% sure how you would get to the turntable the easiest. Probably transit corridor north if I was to guess. Alright, I guess I'm gonna have to end this recording here and then try to power through. We'll go do side missions. In particular that don't feel like they're going to center so much around the fight. And maybe that'll fix something. Maybe it won't fix something. Maybe it will remove the checkpoint of the fight to release Polaris, and we'll have to start all over from the beginning. At that point, I might be a little bit closer to rage quitting. Anyways, we've gone 23 minutes over. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.